Well, hello, YouTube and valued viewers. This is Byron at Splitting Slices. Welcome back to the Knife and EDC channel. Folks, it's been a while, nearly 2 months since my last full tabletop knife review. I do apologize, got extremely busy with work, as well as I took a vacation with Mrs. Slices. So we are back from a European trip. Got to do a bucket list trip to Italy, which I've always wanted to go see. It was spectacular. So, with that said, I've got a midweek mail call to do this Wednesday, June 17th, 2026. It is this green envelope from Royal Mail and my good folks over there across the shuck. This would be Paddy and Pals, also Baldy's Blades, or Michael Newman as we all know him, and of course we Justin. So, guys, thanks for getting this knife to me. This is the Paddy Potato Peelers PPP Club Knife number 3. Let's take a look at it. This should be, once we get it open, the new bare end Senator. Of course, a Senator comes with a lambsfoot style Wharncliffe blade. Means it's thinner at the tip than it is at the tang of the blade. But let's get this open up now and we'll take a look at it. Now, to remind everybody, club knife number 1 was this beautiful tackler with a swept-back handle, C70 steel, and a Wharncliffe blade. Nickel silver bolster, brass pins and liners, and also had some green G10 liners. PPP Club Knife number 2 was this beautiful English Barlow that came in lignum vitae, one of the hardest woods available. Brass liners, brass pins, nickel silver bolster, and nearly an English Barlow with that beautiful Lanny's clip point style blade. 2 really nice knives, and I'm hoping we're going to get a third here. Let's go ahead and get into this. And I am going to go ahead and turn these off to the side so that I don't have an accident with those. And let's slide this out. Now again, if you didn't know who was involved with the organization of this knife, there's Paddy Potato Peelers YouTube and Instagram card. Want to shout out Steven over there for putting this whole thing together and working with Arthur, Wright, and Sons. Now that is 3 people that make up that company. Michael and Ashley Harrison, along with Beth, their newest knife maker, have put together all of these club knives, and this is knife number 3. Let's go ahead and take a look at it. We'll get it unwrapped here from the plastic. I think I can just go ahead and rip that open. Now, let's take a look at this really nice little pocket knife. Smallest of the 3 as far as the size. A beautiful little 5th pocket carry. This is in purple heartwood, so a slight purplish color to this wood. Little bit of wax, little bit of polish will protect that wood grain from soaking in some of the oils of your skin. So I will probably go ahead and put a little bit of beeswax or such a product on that. But let's go ahead and take a look at it. Beautiful grain structure in the die. Wood took that very well. I'm assuming this is a little bit of a stain or a little bit of the dye. This may be natural color, but I am not positive. But it definitely has that purplish burgundy color to it. Looks really nice. 3 brass pins, nickel silver bolsters. And let's go ahead and get the C70 carbon steel blade open. Wow! Quite a pull on that. I'm going to call that an 8.5 to 9 on that pull. But let's take a look at this beautiful Senator knife. Now, of course, Senator is a pattern, refers to a jackknife that has more or less an equal-ended equal-ended frame. So in other words, the front or head of the knife is about the same size as the tail end of that knife. Usually comes with a straight back spine on the knife, but then has a slight bellied curve in the handle. Just gives the knife a really nice natural feel in the hand. Now this one I can barely get 4 fingers grip on it, more like a 3.5 with the pinky kind of hanging off the end there. Thumb up on the, about a 50-50 purchase from the blade spine and then the back end of the handle of the knife there on the bolster. Nice looking lambsfoot blade, again C70 carbon steel. The American equivalent would be, say, a 1070. Nice nail nick out toward the end of the blade. Now, of course, I would say this is a perfect position for this relative to the style of blade we have and the pull on this one. I'm definitely going to give this one an 8.5 to 9 on that pull. All right. Nice half moon or crescent shaped nail nick. Nice rounded spine on that, and then going down to the tip. And although we're calling this a Wharncliffe blade, I'll tell you what, it's got such a curve in that, really almost approaching a half hawk. But I'll tell you what, I really like the shape of that blade. Oh yeah, I've got a little bit of edge on this, a little bit of burr on some of it, but I got an edge on the rest of it. So maybe just a little touch up on the strop or a little sharpening there will take care of that edge. But other than that, this has turned out really well. Let's take a look at the spine. Now I have no gaps in my spine. I got a couple just little finish marks. Couple little finish nicks in the brass liner, but other than that, no gaps whatsoever. It would help if I held this under the camera so you folks could see, huh, Byron? Yes, it would. Nice thin brass liners. No gaps in that spine, but just a nice looking senator knife with that lamb's foot, really approaching close to a half hawk, guys. It's really close. Got a so little bit of recurve in that blade, but feels really good in the hand. Nice little 5th pocket carry, and with that spring strength, I can barely move that spring. I can do it a little bit there with the thumb, but just a slight amount. So as long as you're careful making your draw cuts or making your push down cuts, of course you never really should do a push cut with a slip joint knife unless you've got an exceptionally strong spring. Just kind of basic knife safety 101 there. But this one I think will be just fine in using it for everyday chores and tasks. So there you go, folks. The PPP number 3 club knife, the Bear and Senator, in purple heartwood, nickel silver bolsters, brass pins and liners, and this beautiful Senator Wharncliffe approaching half hawk style blade. Oh, listen to that snap on that. All right, folks, that's going to do it for me. This is Byron from Splitting Slices saying split a slice with a friend soon. I hope everybody who has ordered their club knife gets them very soon and in the same condition that I did. Want to thank again, all of the Paddies and Pals folks for putting this together. Of course, Arthur Wright and Sons and the staff there, the Harrisons and Beth for making a fine knife. And until my next video, everybody, please take care.